What's going on, everybody? So, if you remember vividly, I had a 1987 Mercedes 300E that I bought for little to nothing. And I was unaware that it ran and frankly was a pretty complete car. But there was one aspect about it that was really rough, and that was the outside aesthetics. Primarily the paint. So, at one side of me that's like, might as well just get the whole thing repainted, whatever. The other side was like, why don't you experiment and try to revive the paint on this car? Which, honestly, if you look back at that video, which I'll post down in the description, it was pretty bad. The paint was really bad. I don't know how long it's been sitting outside. It looks like it was sitting most of its life outside. But I was like, you know what? I have all this paint correction stuff that you can buy off your typical auto parts store shelf, and let's experiment and see if we can revive this paint. So that's what I've been working on the last 2 days, and the results, though not 100%, are incredibly improved as far as the before and after. And what's hilarious, I saved one side of the vehicle to show what it originally looked like, and the other side of the vehicle, which I've spent doing my best. And I'll show you what stuff that I used. And everybody has different methods of detailing. I went down this like wormhole of like, can't do this, can't do this. If you use a buffer pad, it'll catch on fire because you're doing too much friction. You're not doing enough friction. You should wet sand it. I mean, there's literally 1,000 ways to revive an old paint job. And though this doesn't look like it's brand new, it does look significantly better. So I'm going to show you that. Well, I mean, that ain't bad for before and after, which is hilarious. And I've actually kind of gotten attached to this car a little bit just because, well, it was made the same year I was born, but it's something different. I'm so used to Mercedes diesels, and to see this car and being a gas and an inline six, I'm kind of a sucker for inline six. It's a whole different car. Like, I've never really had a lot of experience with gasoline 80s Mercedes. So, all right. Now, first question comes to mind is, what exactly are you using to correct this paint, or at least bring some of the shine back? Obviously, you can see there's a massive line. Sorry, my line is like, it looked like I was a drunk detailer right here, but obviously, this is exactly what the car looked like before, and this is what it has done after. What I've done is a 3-step system. Now, once again, this is just how I do things. There's a million ways to detail a car, and there might even be 10 better ways, significantly better than what I'm doing. All I am doing is what I felt worked on bringing this paint job back. And I always like to hear people's opinions on what they've done to revive an old paint job. But for me, this has worked significantly better. So, what I started with, that is the question. Obviously, this is, I mean, there's not even, it's pretty bad. Normally you can get some oil and get a shine there, but that, so what I started with, Meguiar's has always made a good product. I am not endorsing Meguiar's. I'm not sponsored by Meguiar's. I just have used Meguiar's stuff and I've had good luck with it. So that's all this is about. I have had good luck with this, especially on red vehicles, but I felt like doing it on this. It's an Ultimate Compound. Tread lightly with Ultimate Compound, especially if you do a buffer. In fact, I advise tread very lightly because this has a lot of cutting ability. And with cutting ability comes great responsibility, because you will literally cut into your paint and beyond. And it'll be like, oh, wow, to, oh, wow, I messed up. So keep that in mind. So I started with this, and I work small sections. And what I mean by small sections is I literally will start on a 12 by 12. Keep in mind, I'm not using a buffer. I'm doing everything by hand. The Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi would be quite proud with my abilities, because the 5 fingers has done all this work. I got nothing against buffers. I literally forgot my buffer at the shop down south where all my other stuff is at. This is my garage up north. But I've been doing this with my hand. So Started with this little 12 by 12s, made it really buff out. It doesn't really bring so much the shine back as much as it brings the color out, and it really gets in there and kind of cuts that oxidation out. I've had really good luck with that. I use like a little foam pad and have a terry cloth. Once again, do not do this in direct sunlight. Low temps is also a huge factor to consider. Where I'm at, outside temp right now is like 24 degrees. There's no way I would try to wax a car because you will not get the effect that you need. Think of wax as the colder it gets, the more dense and the less of effect it has. The optimum temperature, in my opinion, 65 and above, and no higher than 85. I think wax starts turning really gooey and not yielding its results because of the basis of temperature. So we've done that. 12 by 12, little hand rubs, tread very lightly with that. Voila, you've done your cutting compound. Next, you've done this cutting, but you also still have some debris that you want to get out and extract. I use the Meguiar's Cleaner Wax. Now this is going to pull off any residual oxidation and any residual byproduct of the compound I have felt. I've had good luck doing number 1, Ultimate, number 2, Cleaner, and then I will do the same thing. I can actually go a little bit wider of a coverage area with the Cleaner Wax because I'm making more broad strokes and I'm coming through. But I start with that. Once again, use a pad that kind of looks like, you know, I've had good luck with these pads. Once again, everybody will have a different opinion. Some guys are probably going to comment, why are you using a sponge pad? You have just degraded the paint on this vehicle significantly. Well, I don't know if we could get beyond significantly here, buddy, but you know, sorry, but I've had good luck with these pads, so yes. So start with that. I've had step number 2 is obviously the Cleaner Wax. You can go a little bit bigger of an area to cover it. And then lastly, after you've felt that you've gotten a lot of your oxidations, you're ready for the final step. And this is a product that I use on all my vehicles. I don't so much use this and this, unlike my 1968 Mercedes, because, well, the paint still looks good. And once again, I tread lightly with heavy and abrasive compounds. You know, wet sanding fascinates me and I'm very new to it. So I've not tried it on stuff, and I've seen the results that wet sanding yields, and it's incredible. There's so many talented people out there that can revive a paint job, but this is what the stuff that I had, and this is the stuff that you can go buy at Walmart, and I've had pretty good luck with it. There's also stuff like you hear about, like New Finish. I think it's New Finish. It's in an orange bottle. People swear by that. I've never tried it, but apparently people love that. So step number 3, the final and the result that I use on all my vehicles, and I feel is kind of necessary whether your paint job is old or new and looks good. This is the stuff that I use that really keeps it looking good, I guess I would say. And this is the Meguiar's World Class Carnauba Wax. Once again, it's gold. It's hard to miss. I've had nothing but good luck with this stuff. You know, you literally use it on everything, as far as my 68, my MG, the pickup, the motorcycles. I use this. It's just good stuff. It goes on and it comes off easy. You know, I've dealt with some waxes that are a pain in the butt to extract back off. Like, you literally set the timer and you got 2 minutes before it turns white, and if you don't, it's just this white pasty and it drives you nuts because it doesn't look good. This stuff wipes right off and it leaves a really nice shine. Obviously, as you can see, there's a big difference between these two. So all Meguiar's products, once again, I'm not endorsed by them. I'm not endorsing them. It's good quality stuff. People like Turtle Wax. And what I mean by Turtle Wax is I use this stuff all the time for like just on the fly detailing. This is a Turtle Wax product. I've had really good luck with this stuff. And I use it for everything. Windshields, chrome. I will, once again, dust a vehicle off before I ever spray. You always want to make sure there's no debris on your paint. And I act that like we're detailing a professional car here, as far as like it's a show car. This car was literally meant for the scrapyard. All right, so to give you a little bit of an idea of how bad this paint was, so I'm going to show you the before. if this will come through or not. Yeah, okay. So you obviously can see how oxidized and worn out this paint part is. I mean, it's in pretty rough shape here. You can just see like, and you can run your finger here and it is so oxidized. But you know, that's what's fun about kind of bringing these old cars back to life, is you can kind of experiment, you know. I'm always so cautious when I'm detailing like my 68 because it looks really nice. This car looked like crap. So I'm like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well then whatever. It's not like that big of a loss. But this method is actually working. So kind of stoked about that. I mean, it literally looks significantly better. I mean, how bad this, I'm so excited to show you when I'm done if I can get this to come out. It might not, but it might. So that's the whole objective of this. All right, guys, so I've just spent the last few hours doing the other half that was not done. And well, it is looking pretty dang good. I tell you what, there's some blotches I gotta go over one more time, but if you remember how rough the right side was, I showed you the before, and now you gotta see the after, because it looks pretty darn good. Well, you gotta take a look at it, because the end result of that was amazing. Honestly, I didn't think that side was gonna come out just because of how bad it was. Look at that. Get a better angle here. I mean, looks like a completely different car. I can see my face in the reflection. That was non-existent when I got this car. It was as flat as a military Humvee, and look at it now. So that makes me pretty happy. It's actually a really good color too. I had no clue it was this vibrant blue. It looks really good. So I got a couple more things to do on this, but that is the end result of that. I couldn't be more excited of how that came out. And the exterior is looking great. And now I'm gonna go tackle the interior, because that's another endeavor. Though it's not bad. The interior is actually really nice. It's just dirty. I gotta kind of go through it all, but there you go. There's a 1987 300E Revival. It's amazing. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Got more videos with Benzes coming out, and so funny. I got this thing, I'm like, this thing's a pile of gonna leave me stranded somewhere, and it got me home. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get this paint to come out, and it did. So pretty excited about that.